in terms of off and press and all of it.
Do you think their offense is as challenging as Alabama's has been the last couple of years, and what ways are they similar or different?
I think they're similar in that there's RPOs, and that there is a real explosive and dangerous running back. I think they're similar in that the receivers are matchup problems. I think that's probably where it starts. I imagine the run game is such that you have to have a certain number of people in the run game, and then once you do that, the math is against you on the perimeter, and so it starts there. The quarterback and his ability to run. I think there is an underground of plays with Clemson that shows up in big games, and so whether it's playoff games, whether it's championship games, the quarterback run element shows up strong in those games. If you separate those games from the season, it's a different approach. And so we saw that the last time out with them versus Ohio State. We're anticipating that. I know we have a history versus quarterback run struggles in that, so all of that makes sense. But it makes it so it's difficult because it adds yet another layer. You wish you could play with 12.
Dave, what have you seen the last 3 games from your defense that they've played so much better than they did before?
Consistency, I think, but even in this last game, I feel the last Oklahoma game, I thought there was positive things, but I don't know what the exact numbers are with the Auburn game, but I felt like in the Auburn game going into the fourth quarter, their production was low. Our play I thought was good. It ended where it was probably closer than it should have been. I think Mississippi State was like that. I think Arkansas was like that. And so I think we've had games where we played well, and the finish element hasn't always been as strong. I wish it was stronger in the Oklahoma game, because I think it's we're winning games, and obviously we get to experience this, and this is so cool. And but I wish we would. My desire is that we play a complete game, and then there are no more questions, and so that's been a struggle.
Coach, there's an element to this type of offense that it affects the defense. When you're scoring that rapidly, defense doesn't have as much time to rest. Clemson kind of went through that transition several years ago, and Coach Venables had to adjust. How have you had to adjust to that?
Yeah, I would argue with just the time to adjust. I think there is the struggle for us has been you go into any contest wanting to win the game, and so these are good problems. I think from a program standpoint, it's a good problem. From a defensive coordinator standpoint, therein lies the problem: is you're winning by 30 points in the second quarter, and the fire that you started the game with is evaporating, right? And you're catching players look up in the crowd, you're catching kind of glimpses at the scoreboard, you're catching smiles and laughter and these things, and I think there's a lot of human nature that is in all of that, and I feel like that's where I have not done as good as I could have been, and I think that's still a fight. That's still something that has to be talked about and brought up and taught, and we're hoping that stuff continues. But like I said, that's a good problem to have. That's been the biggest issue.
Did you see that Ole Miss